Hello and welcome to the drive to Lake District part 4. Now this part takes us from, as you can see, the A683 at the end of the off ramp at the junction 34 of the M6, and this leads us to the Claughton lay-by, where we actually have bacon butties and butter tea and a hot chocolate for Andy. Okay, so this video will bypass the bacon butty stop, because you've seen it before with when I took Graham there, so you see where we go. Okay, so this is the 683. It's a lovely road, a very busy road. It links sort of Lancaster to Kirby Lonsdale, so you know it's a major route. But on a good day like today, it can be a fabulous ride on a motorcycle. It's perfectly, it's made perfect for a bike, especially the bits after Hornby. There's some nice sort of national speed limit stretches where you can open it up, and if you've got some cars in front of you, you can make some nice overtakes. Yeah, it's good. It's good feeling, bro. And when you get to Devil's Bridge, you're ready for another bacon butty. And beyond, you can takes you to the Lake District, and well, the world's your oyster. Right, so where were we? Motorcycles. So we're up to 1984. Now, when Lynn and me started courting, or going out, whichever way you prefer, but I like the word courting. It's a nice old-fashioned word, romantic word. We started courting in March of 1984, and it became quite clear that the Honda 90, which I had, the wire edge, the 1982 Honda 90, was insufficient really for the two of us, power wise and everything really. So we had to change. We had to look at getting a bigger bike. So we went to Bill Heads at Longridge and decided to buy a beautiful Honda CM 200T at the end. Twin cylinder, 200cc, 4 speed gearbox, and brand new. And the registration for that was A824KRN, and we called it Rank. We have this tradition of naming our bikes. I didn't name any of my first bikes, but from Lynn and me onwards we named the bike. So this was Rank, and wow, beautiful bike, as you can see there. Nice photograph of her. And we went everywhere on that bike. I mean, we went to, I always remember one journey that we made, which was amazing. A long way, I couldn't do it now, and that was to Perth in Scotland, which is considerable distance. Anyone who's driven it or ridden it. But we did it, and we had a holiday up there, and it was wonderful. So happy memories. So there we are. We had that Honda CM200 until 1987, when Lynn and me were married. We got engaged in 1985. Incidentally, we took the CM200 to the Isle of Man for a holiday in 1985, in the summer of 85. That was fabulous, absolutely fabulous, and it was lovely being back in the island for me since 1980, when I went the last time with my family, my brother and my mum and dad. But it was the first time ever for Lynn, and so she loved it. So fast forward a bit to 1987, and we bought a Honda CB 400 NC. Now that was the same registration as rank. A257 OFR, I think it were. Yeah, A257 OFR, and we called that Afro. So this was Afro, and now Lynn, she by this time she had this Honda 70, I should say. She got this C70 in 1984 from Billheads at Longridge, and there's a picture of it there. Now that picture, unfortunately, if you look closely, there's damage to the offside indicator cover, the shade. She was involved in a bit of a collision with a damn taxi driver on King Street, near where Jack's Motors used to be, and he knocked her off. So and so. No, let's call him a bastard. Yeah, another so and so is a bastard. Any driver who doesn't see a motorcyclist are bastards. So there we go. I didn't see him, mate. Sorry about that. I can hear his words now. So that's why there's damage. So yeah, all this time she had this C70. So she had that 3 years. When we got the CB400 NC, don't forget that bit, like the Super Dream, but it was like the sort of model after the Super Dream range. Lynn got sold the C70, and she got the 200 CM200, so it's like a hand-me-down. Bless her. But yeah, so she was riding this this 200cc Honda now, much bigger bike, because Lynn worked in Preston for some time during the early times of our time together. She worked in the Polytechnic, in the creche, working with children. So it was ideal. Lynn had her bike, and I had my bike. So we independent transport. We didn't want a car. We couldn't afford a car and a bike. So it was an ideal solution. So the 400. There's lovely pictures of her here. We went on honeymoon on that bike down to Devon, and we toured all around Devon, Cornwall. No doubt we'll have touched Somerset. We had an absolutely fantastic time down there, camping in a tent. So lovely, absolutely lovely. Somebody recently, a few months ago, they were amazed that we had a honeymoon in a tent, and I'll tell you now, anyone who doesn't know Lynn who knows Lynn, who knew Lynn, will know exactly why we went camping for a honeymoon, because that's the kind of girl she was. She was happy. She'd been camping with her parents when she was younger, down in Devon. So this was like a continuation of that, and yeah, we enjoyed it. We loved it. So we didn't want a hotel and all the trappings and what have you. So yeah, we had the honeymoon on the 400. What a bike that was! It was a 6-speed gearbox twin, chain driven. That's the only drawback. Now that I've had shaft drives really since 1990. But what a bike! Beautiful bike. Very responsive. But there's a funny story which I've told a few times on previous videos. we were going down to Devon, and when we left home, we were heading down towards Junction 31, which is where we went. Funny enough, on this video, I think it's part 2. We passed the petrol station at what they call 5 Bar Gate, and on the A677, I think it is, Pessanoo Road. Anyway, we're going down there this particular morning, very early morning, going down there to join the M6 and head south, when Lynn's tapping me on my shoulder. So I pulls in at a lay-by, which is fortunately just down the road, near the turning for Roach Bridge, anyone who knows the area. And so I pulls in, and we gets off the bike, and it became obvious what the problem was. All the luggage had shifted to one side. Now, when I say luggage, we had leather throw-over panniers over the seat, over the pillion seat, which were fantastic. They were good panniers. Octopus, I think they were. They were really, really good make. And a top box, fiberglass top box, not like they are today. That they were a bit brittle then, but top box on a rack. And on top of that was a soft suitcase, such a small suitcase full of stuff, and on top of that was the tent, and I think sleeping bags were probably rolled up either side of this suitcase. So the actual load probably came up not too far off Lynn's shoulders, so it was quite a load. Not a lot of weight in it, but enough. So it had all shifted, so I'm kind of making it the best I could. I thought, well, if I pull in at Charlie Richard Services on the M6 South, which is a few miles away, but at least from motorway we should be okay. Anyway, this motorcyclist came by, and he asked me if I was brought down or having a rest, and so I said, well, neither really. So I told him what it was, and he reached into his jacket pocket, and he had a brand new set of bungees, like an octopus. Well, he said, I always carry a spare, you're welcome to them. Well, I just couldn't believe it, how nice, what a kind gesture that was. I mean, I already knew from my now 7 years of motorcycling that bikers were good people, but this was the first time that somebody had actually helped us out directly, and it was just overwhelming that somebody so kind and that helped us out. Complete strangers, you know. So anyone who thinks that, you know, that bikers are not friendly people, well, I mean, you get good and bad, like in every walk of life, but we look after each other, we really do, and it's just a pity that you know, other groups don't, you know, but there we go. So yeah, so we're heading down to Devon now on the 400, so everything's hunky dory, and we had a superb honeymoon. The weather was perfect. I think we stopped in Somerset initially, and then the next stop was what was it called? The place was called Stoke Gabriel, near Paynton, and we camped there. There was a farm just down the road from the campsite, and we got some farm cider. 2.5 litres of it, and it was good stuff. It really was. Happy days. They really were happy days. I've been a very, very lucky man. I really have, and you know, at the same time, that's what makes it so hard to deal with the loss of Lynn, you know. But I mean, I'm free now. I'm going back to these places where Lynn and me went countless times on the bike, obviously, and now I'm going back to these places in the car. I've not been back to these places on my own yet. That you know, I mean, well, I'm never on my own because I've got Piglet with me, you know, and I've got you know, when I take me daughter and my granddaughters out, that's always a special time. Only done it once so far, but we're going to do it again. Have picnics and, you know, family days out. And yeah, it's hitting home now. Now that I'm going back to these places, I'm feeling the loss, and I was telling a friend recently, a close friend. It's there's a film, a very, very famous film, where it always made me cry. And I defy anybody who watches it not to cry. You know, if anyone who says you don't cry during some parts of the film, I think they're either kidding themselves, trying, you know, like not being honest, or they're just too hard to care. I don't know, but there's a film, and made in 1970, I think it was, and I won't say the title. I'll ask you to comment and put the answer in the description below. But he's at this venue. I won't say what kind of venue it is, because that'll give it away. He's at this venue with his girlfriend, and eventually they become quite close, and they're, you know, there's a lot of giddiness, you know, but ultimately they're so in love with each other, and this poor lass, eventually during the film, she announces to her I think they're married by this time. He's a very, very wealthy man, comes from a wealthy family. His father, very, very famous actor. His father is very, very sort of against this young lass because she doesn't seem good enough for him, but blah blah blah. Anyway, she announces during the course of the film that she's got cancer, and it's terminal. So when she dies, he goes back to this venue where they spent so many happy times, so much laughter and joy, and he sat there on his own, contemplating and just looking into space, I guess. And it's that I feel now, that absolute loss that Lynn isn't with me in person. I'm not religious. Anybody who knows me knows that, but I tell you right now, I am not religious. I wasn't before, and after losing the best person in my life, how can I be now? And people have told me, God only takes the good ones. Well, I'm sorry, but you're welcome to believe in that, but sorry, no, I don't subscribe to that at all. Why would he do that? What kind of God is that, taking the good ones, But anyway, there we go. I digress. So I feel that now. So, we're coming down this road, for instance. I've come down this road so many times on the bike with Lynn. She's I can see what she's doing now. I know what she's doing. She's looking at the scenery. She's looking over the hedges there, which you can on a motorcycle because you're higher up. She's just enjoying every moment of that ride. Looking forward to our next destination, which probably at that point is the bridge, for a break, looking at some bikes and just soaking everything up. So to not have her now in person with me is quite upsetting, really. So anyway, listen, we're coming up to, we're in 1987 now, so we're on the 400. I'll stop it here. We're coming up to the A683 now. Sorry, the A65. And I'll see you on the next part. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye for now.